So it was several years ago I rebuilt all the cooling system on this car. I did everything. I put new hoses, new thermostat, new heater hoses, new radiator. Did pretty much everything except for the water pump. And guess what is leaking? And got a few other little problems too while it's off. See, my cooling fan has cracked between every blade. That'll make a mess of my new radiator if it lets go. And that stupid fan clutch is getting lazy too. So essential ingredients for the job: have a new fan, got the new water pump gasket, and while it's apart I'm going to replace the drive belts. So first thing I'm going to do is drain the coolant out. What I'm going to do is pop the bottom hose off again. Okay, so there's the coolant drained out and radiator's removed. If you want instructions on removing the radiator, watch the radiator replacement video I've got, but it's so basic, just brackets top and bottom and little foot pegs down there. So next up, got to remove this fan. Just got 4 bolts, bolt it to the clutch hub. Okay, fan's off. Next thing, just got to get those 2 belts off. No air conditioning on this vehicle, so that's easy. Normally a 3rd belt would run down there for the air conditioning, but the alternator, just got to loosen the bolt there, and one on the underside, just there, slide that across. Similar deal with the power steering. Got a mounting bolt down the side, and sliding mechanism there. Too easy. One of my big concerns with this job is because that water pump was never changed, that it may have grown onto the engine block. There goes the radiator cap, because it's I think that's cast steel water pump housing and an alloy block it's bolted to. I was thinking they'd be grown together, but I haven't even got the bolts out yet and it's already loose, so no worries there, thank God. The old water pump's nearly in as good a condition as the new one. Absolutely no corrosion at all there. Same with the engine block, it's clean as a whistle inside, despite having 311,000 kilometres on the clock. Just cleaning the old gasket off now. I've got a nice genuine Nissan one there to replace it. There's the original one there, looks to be genuine Nissan too. When you're talking mating surfaces and gaskets, cleanliness is next to godliness, so as you can see I spent a fair bit of time getting that all nice and clean and free of gasket and old sealant and that kind of crap, and just blasted it out with the compressed air. Got all the junk and stuff out, so ready to put the new water pump on. One of the main problems I was having with the old water pump is the fan clutch is dodgy. How these work is they actually freewheel, and as the airflow off the radiator heats up, what it does is shrinks the bimetal spring and engages the clutch on the thing, which makes the fan speed up. And on my old one, that is just totally rooted, and so it just runs the spins the fan at slow speed all the time. So there's great debate over whether to use gasket sealant on the actual gaskets. Most say you don't need it, a lot of people swear by it. I'm a firm believer that a very, very thin amount does help, because you can see the machining is never quite perfect, and it just takes up any little pits and grooves and that sort of thing in the flange sealing surface. So I use the #1 Permatex, which is actually designed for water pump gaskets and thermostat seals, that sort of thing. Gasket and sealing on, ready to go. Okay, new water pumps all in, got new belts on. What I've got to do now is just bolt the new fan on and put the radiator back in. Give it a new gut full of coolant. Should be good to go. Job done. Not even any leaks. Sweet. There we go, running cool as a cucumber. Happy as Larry. Not even getting hot when it climbs hills anymore. That was due to the fan clutch not working. And just finally, for anyone that might be wondering how these fan clutches work, it's a fairly simple concept actually. These bimetal springs here, what they do is, as that heats up, this one's fucked, but normally when they're cold they're quite expanded, and as it heats up it shrinks and actually turns. I can't get it to turn anymore. The little centre part there will turn, and what that does is actually opens a flap inside, and if I can get it to open, they're full of this silicon based oil. So what happens is, as the that flap there turns, it opens a little passage which lets more and more oil in, and the more oil that catches in these two little wiper things they're called here meet up with those ones, and the more oil that's in there, the more resistance it creates and the faster the fan spins. So that's pretty much how that works. And then as the radiator, heat coming off the radiator straight onto this starts to cool down, that spring starts to expand back up again and closes off how much oil. You can see the oil drains back into the front of it. Pretty simple concept. You can see the outside is not engaged with the shaft, so it's what the fan is bolted to, and just free wheels. The more and more oil pumped into this part here, the faster it goes.